You're listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.
KT just committed 18 trillion once, about 12.9 billion US dollars to AI infrastructure. Meanwhile, NVIDIA's next-gen server rack faces a 12-plus month delay, and a new July 29 regulation completely rewrites Korean subsidiary IPO rules, just as Chinese VCs are aggressively scouting Korea's physical AI sector. It's Tuesday, July 7th. Let's look at a business story shaping corporate Korea.
Right, and to understand the sheer scale of this board-level shift, I mean, we really have to start with KT's multi-year investment plan.
Yeah, that 18 trillion won commitment is just massive.
It really is, and out of that, they're carving out 5 trillion won, roughly 3.6 billion US dollars, specifically to construct more than 20 AI data centers.
Wow.
Yeah, and that represents 1 gigawatt of total capacity.
1 gigawatt. That isn't just a standard server farm upgrade. Like, what is KT actually building that requires that much raw power?
Well, they're building what they call a token factory. Right now, data centers mostly just host computing power. But as we move toward autonomous AI agents doing these really complex tasks, KT wants to be the financial and computational clearinghouse.
Like, essentially building the toll booths for the next generation of AI transactions.
Precisely. This platform is designed to generate, broker, and meter AI agent token usage.
I do have to push back on the timing here, though.
Oh.
Committing 18 trillion won right now seems, well, incredibly risky. It feels like building a massive multi-billion-dollar digital highway system just as the only truck factory shuts down for a year.
Right, yeah.
I mean, how does KT justify this aggressive build-out when NVIDIA's Khyber NVL144 server rack is officially delayed to 2028?
Yeah, that is the exact friction keeping executives up at night right now.
Mm.
The NVIDIA delay basically comes down to multilayer PCB manufacturing failures.
The printed circuit boards?
Yes. So the Khyber system is designed to link 144 chips together to act as a single unified AI factory. But to do that, the physical pathways connecting these chips have to be absolutely flawless.
Yeah, if they aren't.
Well, if those substrate layers warp or fail under that much data load, the chips just can't communicate. It's a structural bottleneck that takes years to re-engineer.
Which is exactly why we saw a 10% intraday plunge for Asian tech stocks exposed to that specific supply chain.
Exactly.
So if the ready-made NVIDIA AI factories are delayed until 2028, companies still need computing power right now.
Right.
They have to piece together alternative kind of patchwork systems,
Wow.
which makes Korean systems integrators the most valuable players in the region.
Precisely. And that dynamic triggered a frantic geopolitical scramble. Because if you can't buy a turnkey rack, you need top-tier manufacturing data and integration to build a workaround.
Right.
That's why Spark Physical AI Ventures, which is a major Chinese VC firm, just convened over 40 Korean AI representatives in Seoul.
40? Wow.
Yeah. China wants to merge its assembly-scale production with Korea's integration expertise.
But, for a Korean executive, shaking hands with the Chinese entity right now means stepping on a geopolitical landmine.
Oh, absolutely.
Any formal cross-border arrangement immediately exposes you to U.S. technology access risks.
It does. You risk getting cut off from American tech entirely.
So this leads to a massive capital problem. Because Korean integrators are suddenly so coveted, they need massive funding to scale up and meet demand.
Right.
But they can't safely take Chinese VC money without risking U.S. sanctions. Historically, a cable would just spin off a subsidiary to raise that domestic cash. But the Financial Services Commission just slammed the door on that playbook.
They did. Effective July 29, the FSC instituted new subsidiary IPO rules centered around a strict 3% voting cap for controlling shareholders.
How does that 3% cap actually restrict them in practice, like on a board level?
It completely neutralizes the power of the majority shareholder in these specific transactions. Previously, if a cable owned, say, 50% of the parent company, they can easily force a spinoff.
Because they had the votes.
Exactly. Now, no matter how much you own, your voting power on that spinoff is capped at 3%.
What?
Yet to get approval, you need a true majority, plus at least 1/4 of all outstanding shares. You have to actually convince minority shareholders that the spinoff benefits them.
So looking at the board-level implications for you, the executives navigating this, KT's massive infrastructure push signals Korea is locking in its role as Asia's AI data center backbone. If your multinational isn't already having active partnership discussions, you are falling behind the planning cycle.
And while that NVIDIA delay makes Korean PCB and systems integration highly strategic, it's a compliance tightrope. Any executive exploring partnerships with Chinese VCs must complete a rigorous U.S. technology access review before signing anything.
Finally, if you have a listed Korean entity with a subsidiary spin-off in the pipeline to fund your physical AI developments, that July 29 FSC rule is an immediate compliance trigger. You must rebuild your timeline right now to secure that mandatory minority shareholder approval.
And, all of these capital decisions have to be made against a shifting macro backdrop. Japan's 10-year bond yield just hit a 30-year high at 2.830%. On the flip side, we have an upcoming August 2nd OPEC Plus vote. If they continue output increases, we could see lower energy input costs, which would offer Korean manufacturers some critical relief on overhead.
It's a really complex board-level puzzle, but going back to that digital highway KT is building, the one waiting for the hardware trucks to finally arrive.
Yeah.
When they make their Q3 announcements, you have to wonder, who are the global tech giants quietly co-investing in this new AI backbone behind the scenes?
Now that is the multi-billion-dollar question.
That's today's AI Prism, CEOs. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI Prism is a One IFRA award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow. #COSPI.
You've been listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.